Hey guys! Welcome to episode 5.
Cinco.
That's crazy.
My
5 episodes. Episode 4 just dropped this morning.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to it before listening to this one, you should.
What are you doing, honestly? Who goes out of order? You're a little crazy. Unless you saw the title and you're like, I have to listen to this one before anything else.
This one's a good one.
Can't blame you. You got me there.
So good. You guys, couple of updates for the podcast. We have chairs now. Someone donated chairs.
Yes.
Who was that someone?
My father. My padre.
Shout out.
He is amazing.
He is.
He's amazing.
We have nice, comfy chairs. Yeah. We're actually using a desk.
Our setup is actually legit, guys.
Like it's a legit setup. So we have a desk.
And be like, man, these are some real podcasters.
With 2 mics, 2 chairs, and 2 hearts.
Exactly, and it seems like that hard work is paying off because we also hit over 100 downloads.
Guys, I think it's at like 130.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're over 100,
and it'll be higher by the time this episode drops. Over 100 downloads, you guys. We're so thankful. We're so thankful to everyone that has been like so kind, so supportive.
It's just blown my mind how many people actually want to listen to us.
I know.
It genuinely I've had people reach out that I haven't talked to in forever, and it's like you actually want to listen to it. It
makes me
so cool.
Giddy on the inside.
I'm so humbled.
So my aide that works with me at work, I love her. She's literally the best human ever. She texted me today and she was like, "It's podcast day. I'm about to listen while I get my morning coffee." And I'm like, "You're gonna make me cry."
No, literally, every single person that said, they could just be like, "Oh yeah, I listened to it." I'm in tears.
I literally in tears. It's just the fact that people are taking their time to listen to us. Yeah. Us two Gabby gals.
Chit-chatty,
Gabby gals.
Chatty Catties.
I lost my voice there for a second.
Because you're a little too chatty.
I was too chatty. So thank you. Over 100 downloads is crazy. We're so incredibly grateful, and more to come. It's so much fun
Despite
to do.
our April Fool's joke last episode.
Did we get you?
Our last episode. We definitely did. I know it. No one's actually said that we've gotten them yet, but I just know it. Because they don't want to admit it, you know?
That's embarrassing.
Be exactly. That's a little embarrassing, all right? You don't want to have to admit that.
Oh.
But, yeah, exciting stuff.
It is so exciting. And I'm so excited for this episode.
Me too.
It's going to get spooky.
Let's just dive right
into our high and low tides.
Yeah, high and low tides.
You can go first.
I can go first?
Yeah.
All right, what has been going on in my life? My high tide, actually, it's just happened. I think I usually pick everything that just happened because I have a memory of a goldfish. I was going to say squirrel, but I think they probably don't have, I don't know if they're known for bad memories. I feel like they'd have
They
bad
probably
memories.
are.
Okay, I have a memory of a squirrel goldfish, whatever it is. But what just happened, it was kind of, I forced myself upon it, but I had some sister time today. I literally went to her house and I was like, hey. And that was really fun. I was really just going over there for I was asking for help with something, and then I was like, it took 2 seconds. I was like, I'm actually just going to stay here forever now. And I got to see my niece again. So,
love.
They literally live 2 blocks away, but I feel like I'm just never intentional with I love just going over there to hang out.
That's
and I
awesome.
never do that.
Yeah.
So that was really, really lovely. And I went there, and then she made me pasta.
Ugh,
what a sister,
pasta.
bro.
What a sister. First the certificate, now the pasta.
Well, no, really. I'm hyping her up too much. But now that I think about it, she didn't say, "Oh, Mia, do a pasta." She was like, "I'm going to make pasta." I was like, "Can I have some?" So I also kind of forced myself upon that. But she was not saying no, which shows her love.
That does show love.
Yeah.
And that's such a sibling thing to do.
Yeah, no sibling's doing that, you know? She is very, very kind, but, she's also my sister. So it was still me forcing it, but she said yes. And it was a lovely time, and it was a very high tide. I really, really enjoy her presence.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I would never tell her that. But
my high tide, I feel like for most people it's gonna sound like a low, but I actually find it high because in my last therapy session I got diagnosed with ADHD. That's my high tide.
Wasn't it on your birthday too?
It was on my birthday. It was a birthday therapy session, and it was just really random. It's been one of those things where I've seen some of the criteria and I'm like, oh, I relate to a lot of that, but it's not something where I feel like a lot of people now, they see that they relate to someone and then they start going around saying that they have something, even though they
like
don't.
Self-diagnose.
And I didn't want to self-diagnose. So I asked him, and I was like, is there a way for me to find out if I actually have ADHD? And he was like, yeah, I'm already like 68.7% sure that you do. And I was like, that's awful specific. Before even asking you the criteria questions. So it was really interesting. Because it's nice, and the reason it's a high tide is because I feel like I have explanation as to some of my, what I would call quirks, if you will. And it's funny because now that I have that, I'm starting to notice it way more. Like, literally, guys, today at the gym, I went to the gym at noon, and which is not a class that I normally go to, but I love the coach of the noon class, and I wanted to go. And when the workout class was done, you know, everyone in the gym was leaving, even the coach. Like, they were kind of like, because the gym like closes after the noon class and it opens up in a few hours for like the evening, like afternoon classes. So she's leaving, and I was like walking out, and I was like, oh wait, I forgot my keys. I didn't actually forget my keys. They were in my bag the whole time, and I didn't know it. And then I was like, oh, I forgot my mount for my phone. And she was like, Hannah, do you have all your stuff? And I was like, I don't know. And I'm like, go back into the gym. And she's like, Hannah, the flashlight on your phone is on. And I'm like, so scatterbrained, trying to look for all my stuff. I had everything with me the whole time, but I thought that I forgot it because I had forgot it the last time that I went to the gym, that I left my stuff there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is it. I was like, this is the ADHD he's talking about.
Yeah.
And I was telling my best friend when I got diagnosed, and she was like, this makes so much sense now. Like, her nickname for me is Dory sometimes, because like I forget everything. And she'd be like, Hannah, I can't believe you forgot. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know why I forget these things, but it's the ADHD. So it's like, it's nice to have a label, I guess, to make sense of why I am the way that I am. So I call that as a big, because it's not like it's ADHD. Right. So many people have it. Like, it's so common. So I just find it kind of more funny. I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I was going to say, how do you feel about, like, noticing it more so now? Are you like...
I find it hilarious.
You're like, oh, this is
I'm like, that's Hannah coded.
Hannah coded. This is just the Hannah life.
But, yeah, that's my, oh, my gosh. Guys. Do we even bring that up in the podcast?
Nah.
Josh Perez.
He just sent me a funny message.
Where is the bracelet? Only if he listens to this episode, he's the only one that's going to understand that reference.
A little inside joke in the
inside joke in the podcast.
Notifications off, like on Do Not Disturb before setting my phone up for this. But...
Stop blowing up our Instagram, guys. Just kidding. Mia, do you want to go with your low tide?
Yeah, I'm actually going to talk about my low tide because it's really unfortunate. Okay, so the story is, I got this dress from Marshall's. Okay, I'm gonna take you through. Well,
please take me through the journey.
Yeah, I'm taking you through.
You know what? My low tide is about a dress too.
Mine isn't really about a dress. This is just the start.
Never mind.
But it is kind of connected. It's kind of about a dress. Like, the dress is the origin. Okay, so I'm taking you really through. I went to multiple stores. All right, I went to TJ Maxx first, then Burlington. You know, thumbs down. No luck there. And then I go to Marshall's, and I'm looking, and then I got, like, actually a bunch of dresses. I had, like, at least 5 going into the dressing room, which is very rare for me. Yeah. So I had 5 dresses going in the dressing room, and then I tried them all on, and then, like, surprisingly, the one that I loved, it was bright orange. Surprisingly, it had, like, little white flowers, and I was like, very interesting. So I tried it on, and I'm like, I like the way it fits. I think it's very nice. I think it's very springy. You know, I like the vibes. But I wasn't feeling the paleness, my usual fair skin with it. And it didn't look bad, but I was like, you know what? Last year, on my birthday, I was going through the spray tan phase. And so for my birthday, I got, like, one of those packs. Yeah. So I went to LA Tan just for funsies, and I was like, maybe I have one left. And I had, like, 3.
Oh, wow.
So I got a spray tan, and you'd probably be like, Mia, that's such a high tide. You're so tan now. But no, actually, because I left. I got one that developed over time, and it was fine until the next day I woke up, and my neck looks disgusting. It looks like I have that, like, I called it vertigo earlier. It's not vertigo. It's that vitiligo thing.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm saying it right.
I know what you're talking about.
Or, like, the skin different colored, whatever. Yes. And it's getting worse. Vertigo. Something like that. Yeah. I literally have no idea. I know, like, Winnie Harlow has it. But
yes, she's so pretty.
She's gorgeous. But, yeah, and it's just, like, getting worse, and I just want to cover my neck up forever. and ever and ever and ever.
So it didn't go well.
Yeah, but it's fine. That's just a low tide.
Here's the thing, though. You want to know what's interesting about that? You say that, and I love like moments like these because you get to see from how you come across to other people, like other people's perspective. So the dress she's talking about was her Easter dress, and which this actually kind of goes directly into my low tide.
I love it.
But when I saw you yesterday, like a vision, like a goddess.
Stop.
And I literally thought like, wow, like all of these girls nowadays, like being pale is not in. They all try to be tan, but Mia has this like Snow White porcelain doll, like beautiful skin, and she's rocking it. Like it suits you so well.
Oh my gosh.
And I was literally thinking like pale is so beautiful too. And like
gosh.
you're like the epitome of that.
Oh.
Like it's not, I feel like some people when they say
so
pale, it's used as like an insult, but it's literally not. Like it's such a gorgeous thing, like Snow White level beauty.
Actually, you make me cry.
Crazy.
That's so sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome. My low tide was awful.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I want to preface by saying that I know I am dramatic. I know that in the grand scheme of things, it did not matter, but it was one of those things that it mattered to me. Mm-hmm. And I was having an emotional moment with this. So we're filming this on the day that episode 4 drops. So this is Easter Monday when we're recording this. April 1st. Mm-hmm. So yesterday was church on Sunday. And not everybody, but I know for me and a lot of girls that grow up in the church, it's a big tradition and thing to have an Easter Sunday dress and to pick out your Easter Sunday dress. I always did that since I was little. Like, you dress up for your best on Easter, and you have your pretty Easter dress and you get, your pictures with it and everything. And it's a tradition that I really enjoy, that I always like to be a part of. And like 2 weeks ago, I went to, I think, TJ Maxx or something to try to find an Easter dress. And it was definitely like a quick trip. I didn't have that much time. I didn't try anything on. I just found this dress. I had an idea of what I thought it was going to look like. So I just impulsively bought it. And I didn't really try it on until yesterday morning. So I'm getting ready and, whatever. And then I go and I put on the dress, and Mia, it looked so bad. It was so not flattering. It was too big. Yeah. So it was like, I looked like a balloon, but it was like bright pink. So I looked like Pepto-Bismol threw up all over me. No, like it was so bad. Poor Vlad, bless his heart. He's like, I think you look beautiful. And I'm like, shut up. Like, don't lie to me.
Easter morning.
So I'm like having a breakdown Easter morning, like full blown crying because I don't have a pretty Easter dress. No. And I don't have like any other dresses in my closet that really work for it. I had one and I wore that dress last week for Palm Sunday, which again, first world problems for sure. But it's just one of those traditions that like I love to do and I love to be a part of. And I had this dress picked out and I had this idea of what it was going to look like. And then of course, like the morning of, it just didn't. And I hated the way that it looked. It was so puffy and weird in all the wrong places. It was just not good. And the color was not giving what I thought it was giving. So I like literally don't have like any other like cute Sunday Easter dresses like that. So I literally it was the weirdest outfit I've ever worn in my life. It was like jeans and this weird shirt. It was awful.
Yesterday?
Yes.
Stop. I thought it was so cute.
No, I didn't. Don't even lie to me. It was so bad. And then I was like crying on my way to church because I was like, I'm going to go and I'm going to see all my friends in their beautiful Easter dresses and I'm not wearing mine. And so then of course you guys all looked so beautiful. Like you, Monet and Ruth, it's so beautiful in your Easter dresses. And I'm like the weirdo in jeans. And Vlad was like, I'm wearing jeans. And I'm like, you're a guy. It's not the same. What else are you going to wear? Like you wear pants. Like, no one cares what the guys wear. Okay,
no
it's
one
like
cares. This is
it's the Easter girl like dress tradition. Dang. So I had a full blown, and Vlad was like, it's not a fashion show. We're going for Jesus. And I was like, I know. And I felt so bad because I felt like I was being so selfish and like that is the Lord's day. And like during service, I was just trying to focus on that. So I know how dramatic and petty it sounds.
No, but I get exactly what you felt. Yeah.
Like when it's like a tradition that you've always done and then it doesn't end up working out. And then like all the insecurity, the morning of, and I'm like running late. I'm stressed. So like all of those things are happening all at once. And you know, to get there and feel like left out, you know, what, like super unintentional, but like it just, the end of the day ended really well. I spent time with family and I got to sunbathe and like had really great food and good time with family, some family from like out of town that I got to see and talk to. So that part, like it ended beautifully, but that morning was just not my time. That was definitely a low tide.
Yeah.
Definitely a
That's
low tide.
No, I feel that.
Yeah, but you know what? It's okay because ultimately you can't have that much of a low tide on Easter's. You know, brightest day ever in history. You just got to focus on that. But definitely did not go the way that I had envisioned it going. At first, but that's okay. We move on. We move on right into our manna.
I was gonna say, well, I was trying to think of like the best transition because honestly, not even like trying to make this up, but comparing like when you put that dress on, like it not meeting your expectations. Something that I've always kind of struggled, at least, or just like I guess had battled with when it comes into my relationship with God is that whole like, okay, so He has like not necessarily like God not completely meeting my expectations for my life. Usually He goes beyond them. Yeah. But it's just like and especially with my personality, like I'm such a planner, you know, like in that scenario, like I'd want my dress, I envision it, like I'm planning out my day, like I'm planning out like what I'm wearing, like how it goes, even just getting ready, the whole process, the steps, like little things like that. I might not necessarily be writing it all out, but like in my mind, I'm constantly thinking about that. You have the set plan of how
it should go.
Yeah. So that's just day to day. So like my life, same thing. Like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go to this whatever. Do da 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 da. So when it comes to like that whole idea of like, oh, I have to truly submit my life to God. Like, dang, do I really? Because like I like to kind of have my own plans because I feel like I have like in my mind I'm doing a really good job at like making my plans. And I think even obviously I'm saying this because it's been a past experience, but I know that's not like, you know that God's plans are better for you. It's something you know, but again, it's just that constant battle, especially if you plan something and it seems so great and then it doesn't work out. It's one of those things where maybe like God's closing a door that, you know, it looks so like, I want to go through that one. This is what I had, you know, envisioned. Yeah. And then God kind of closes that.
And it's hard in that moment to see that whatever God is closing and whatever He's eventually going to open is actually better for you. Because hindsight is 20/20, so we always see it after the fact. But it's really hard to in the moment, in the midst of change or something not working out. It's really hard for us to accept and realize that that's what's happening.
Yeah, no, it's definitely tough. So I wanted to read a verse too that we can kind of dive into that kind of talks about this, which again is it's a proverb, so you know it's like a wisdom thing. So it's like something you should know, but it can be a little harder to actually apply to your life. But it says, in the hearts, humans plan their course, something I often do, but the Lord establishes their steps. Yeah. So I think even, because like the way I kind of made it sounded like bad, like I don't have anything in my life. And honestly, especially when I realize how good God is and what He's done in my life, been in places where I'm like, actually, God, like, take over my entire life. Like, I don't
want to be in control.
Exactly. And I have gone through moments like that. And it's definitely, again, a struggle, going back and forth, but especially with this verse, I love like the idea is that like, oh, God, or even like He gives you the desires of your hearts, and I think that's taken out of context a lot, but just the concept, like it is kind of like you're working together. Yeah. Like you're planning, it might be what your heart desires, you know, and again, our heart desires crazy things, so that's not always going to be what's established, but it's just the fact that God isn't completely ignoring you either. Yeah. You know, especially with like prayer and stuff. That's what prayer is, to like kind of align what your plans are with God's will. Even if it isn't necessarily like I think sometimes like I'll pray for, especially when it comes to like plans or future, like a certain sign for this, a certain sign for that. It might not even be that direct, but it's even just like in prayer. Yeah. I might be pouring out again what my heart's desire is, like what's kind of on my mind, and then it's kind of just how the Spirit can flow through that. Yeah. Like I know, like, you desire this, like this is God's will, how can you kind of align them. Yeah. So
I just love the distinction between like we're setting out our plan in our hearts, but God is setting out our plan in physical footsteps. Right. Like we can plan and want and desire anything that we want. Right. But God's actual steps and what might actually happen might align with those, and sometimes they do, but they also might not, because sometimes the desires of our heart are not to be trusted.
No,
you know, and God's like, I hear you, I see what you're wanting, but I'm telling you that this is the way to go. You know, Jonah is the perfect example of that, where in Jonah's heart, he had no desire to go to Nineveh, and he thought he was physically calling his steps to go in the opposite direction, but God was like, LOL, JK, get swallowed by a fish. And you're going to end up going to Nineveh and doing what I ask you to do, because this is, like, these are the steps that I planned out for you. And ultimately, it worked out for the best. Jonah learned such an important lesson and obviously did really amazing things, but it just goes to show that, like, I feel like sometimes what we have desired in our heart is not aligned with God's footsteps, but I feel like the closer and the more that we draw near to him, hopefully we can be as aligned as possible.
That's the
to
goal,
want to be as in aligned with the steps that God has planned out for me.
To want what he
wants. Yes. When we can die to ourselves and, you know, the things that we want. And sometimes, and, you know, I've thankfully had this be fruitful in my life, and I'm so, you know, grateful for all the blessings that God has poured into my life. But, like, thankfully, a lot of the things and the way that God has directed my life are things that I have desired, and other ones not so much. But I think that's where faith and trust comes in. Definitely. To trust, like, you know what, God, this is not what my human side wants right now, but I'm going to follow these doors that you are opening and follow what you say, and I'm just going to trust you with it.
Right. Yeah, and I think, too, again, just, like, this idea is sometimes, like you said, God does answer your prayers, and it's awesome to, like, look back and, like, see those prayers answered and that whatever. But I also cannot tell you how many times I've thought back to, like, things I've prayed for and, like, been so glad God didn't answer those. Like, I was like, I don't, you know, you, like, almost don't even know what you're talking about, because, like, our humans' minds, we're all over the place. Like,
our judgment is
exactly
blurred.
My desires now are completely different to what they were even, like, a year ago, you know? So just kind of praising God for that too. Like the fact that he saw the desires of my heart at the time, but it's just like the verse, but like his thoughts are higher than your thoughts, you know? His ways are higher than your ways. Yeah. And you can give him glory for that. And then it kind of gives you that encouragement now. If I'm praying for something and it isn't necessarily being immediately answered, be like, oh, what about that time that I prayed for that? And I thought that's like, oh, I wanted that more than anything in the world. And I'm so glad that God redirected me and, you know, made my steps kind of go into a different direction. Like it kind of is encouraging now, you know,
which is why I think like reading the word is so important, because you see that happen so many times with people in the Bible, where you see how God's plans ended up working out so beautifully, so much better than anything they could have ever planned for. And it's like, I need to apply that in my own life and see how is God working in my life, that it's so much better than anything that I could ever plan, because change is really scary, and not being able to be in control is really scary. But I think we need to like lay back and realize how freeing it is to not have to be in control, because you have a God that loves you, that is literally trying to tell you, hey, I got it. Like, just trust me. But, you know, we just have this desire to be in control, even if it leads to destruction. We like some people are okay with leading themselves to destruction as long as they get to be the one holding the reins. And that's a pride thing, you know, but just being able to realize that you're not losing freedom by God having the reins and gaining control. You're earning freedom, because that burden is not on you. And it doesn't need to be. And it honestly shouldn't be, because I don't trust myself with some of those big decisions, you know? Even with my fully frontal developed lobe.
Still a little questionable. No, but yeah, like the fact that even especially it's comforting too if something doesn't necessarily go my way. Say I have like this 5-year plan, and obviously life is crazy. It's not going to line up exactly to the, you know, bulleted list that I have. And say something goes off, I'm like, okay, well, good thing that's not all I have going for me. Like, good thing I'm not the only one. Like, I'm not actually establishing my steps here, because I didn't know this was how, like, it just gives you like something to lean back on. And I think, you know, God doesn't, like, we don't deserve that. Like, we don't deserve to kind of have that comfort, but God is so gracious that he is meeting us even in our struggles. Like this concept I was thinking of, you know, with the disciples, and how when Jesus was calling them, he not only was like, oh, you know, you're going to follow me and do all these things, kind of completely shift your mindset and your perspective on how you view the world. But he did it as, like, involving kind of what they were already, you know, surrounded by.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole, like, fishers of men, you know, Peter and Andrew, when they were on the boat, you know, he wanted to kind of involve what their interests or their kind of hobbies. Like, he wanted to, again, that just shows that communion.
Yeah.
That they were being called to greater things, but it was using what they kind of knew and what they may have established themselves, you know, faulty or not, if that was kind of where God wanted them to be. But he uses that. He just uses us in such miraculous ways, despite our crazy plans and our crazy minds and our humanness, I guess I would say.
Which is how lucky are we?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, for that just comfort, awesome. That just, like, that planner in our lives. Like, he's really cool, I would say.
I would say so.
Now that I think about it.
That was a good Amanda segment.
Cool.
That was good.
Yeah, God's pretty cool. But speaking of not knowing what the heck is happening in life.
One of my favorite topics ever.
We are talking about...
Anybody that's close to me knows how much of a conspiracy theorist I am. I don't believe... You
should put that in your bio.
Anything. I am.
CrossFit junkie?
Conspiracy theorist. There's even, like... There's the conspiracy about how the name conspiracy theorist came about.
Really?
I can give a little bit of a background. So it was actually a term. Now, let me just preface, if you guys fact check me and I'm wrong.
You're completely wrong. You're just making this up off the top of your head right
Listen, I'm by no means a historian, and I am very okay with being wrong because I love learning new things. So, but from what I understand is that term was actually created by the government itself, because when people started questioning things and starting to figure things out, they wanted to have a term that kind of discredited those people. That's true. So they were like, oh, you don't believe them.
Cuckoo. Yeah.
Conspiracy theorist. They're crazy. And that's how it's been for so long. It's like, oh, they're just a crazy conspiracy theorist. So you immediately discredit what they are saying and thinking, even though all they're doing is they're just not taking everything that we are given at face value and being chumps and sheep and just believing it like right off first bat. I don't believe anything, okay? Except for the Bible, the Word of God, and God himself. Like if the government or social media or pop culture tries to feed you something, I would probably say look in the other direction, because majority of the time it's either a distraction, it's completely false. I just don't take any of that at face value. I don't believe nothing. So when it comes to that,
not sheep.
So there's the conspiracy behind the term conspiracy theorist. So I am proudly, because all it really says is that you are willing to think for yourself, and not let
someone blindly lead you. Or
someone blindly leading you, whether that's a government official, whether that is your favorite pop star, because we all know that they are used to push certain things across the board.
Hidden agendas everywhere.
Oh, please. Everything. Please. Everything is a hidden agenda. And you don't think they're going to use your favorite celeb that people idolize and worship to skew your decision making?
I think they will.
Come on now.
I think
they even do that. That's even a basic marketing tool, is literally using celebrities to market certain products.
Oh my gosh, speaking of marketing, have you seen literally that cereal company that like has billboards and it's like, oh, Dwayne Johnson loves this cereal, and then in parentheses it's like just a random guy from like Indiana or something, but it's just the name.
Yes.
Like people are just so like caught to like the names and what they think.
Yep.
I would buy the cereal if Dwayne Johnson.
I'm trying to remember, because I did like a finance academy when I was in high school, so like we learned about different like marketing techniques. I can't remember what there's like a specific term for when you use celebrities and pop stars to endorse certain products, but it's been used forever, and there's a reason for it. So if you don't think that they're using them for even bigger things, you are wrong.
You'd be mistaken.
But yes, we are finally going to talk about conspiracy theories in this episode. Now, this is not going to be our only conspiracy theory episode. This will definitely come up again sometime in the future. There's so many conspiracy theories. There's new ones coming out all the time. So we're only going to be focusing on a couple today, but kind of doing like a deeper dive into a couple, because I don't want to use up every conspiracy theory in one episode.
Yeah, we don't want to rush it, you know? We got to dive deep.
So this is part 1. of conspiracy theories.
Part 1.
I just love questioning things. Like, I love hearing new angles and being like, wait, do you think that's what happened? And I'm like, now I don't know. You tell me what you think.
I love, like, people that disagree, though. Like, just, like, the silly conversations. You're like, how the heck? Like,
yeah.
Do you think the movie
I love a good debate. Oh, my gosh. Speaking of this, I had to bring it up. My little brother, excuse me, my little brother is the craziest person to ever walk this planet. When I was hanging out with my family yesterday, he was in town because he's in college up in Tallahassee. Mm-hmm. He thinks that Helen Keller is a conspiracy theory.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
First of all, I didn't realize that there were people that don't even realize that she was real.
Yeah, no, people think that Helen Keller wasn't real.
So that's not where he's coming from. He does not believe that she wrote books. So she wrote books and got a degree. That's crazy.
Yeah, and she supposedly, like, flew a plane. Did you see that?
I did not. No way.
I think
Amelia Earharted it.
I think it's because she had, like, a pilot person, but there's just no. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't even imagine just being blind, but also deaf
and mute.
There's no way. I'm sorry. That's actually a great point, but that's a great point.
He was going off about it because he was like, dude, like, how could she write a book? Like, how? And I was like, dude, I'm not here to question. Even know words? I'm not here to question Helen Keller and her teacher.
Can't hear words.
I mean, it's definitely. Apparently, they estimate that her IQ is like higher than Einstein's.
What the? Good for her, honestly.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. But I was telling him, I was like, Noah, Helen Keller is not rolling in her grave asking for your approval. Okay.
Honestly, that's such a flex for people to think that you were so, like, impressive that, like,
that they don't even believe you. No, like, that's so real.
That's a new goal in my life. Like, I want people to be like, no way Mia did that. Yes, I did.
Like, and I'm like, her legacy lives on, bud. Whether or not you believe in her legacy lives on.
Hashtag cancel Helen Keller.
Like,
Helen Keller's overparty.
Which I totally get where he's coming from. Like, it's actually insane to think of the things that she accomplished and how limited she was, which is probably why her IQ was that high, because with the ability that she learned on how to communicate, given all of the setbacks she had, already shows how much smarter she is than me. I don't think I could have done that.
No, same.
I could not have figured out how to communicate.
Yeah.
Like,
literally. Writing a book. All. I can't even write a book, and I
can't write a book. Things. Yeah.
Praise the Lord. Yeah.
So that was kind of unintentionally the first conspiracy. I just found it hilarious because he was like, I just don't believe it.
I don't believe Helen Keller.
I don't believe Helen Keller.
She's
and I was
a liar.
Like, okay. Yeah. That's crazy.
That's funny. But yeah, no, the one that's like a constant, this has never changed, is the whole Mandela effect thing.
I love Mandela effects.
Bro, it hurts my brain. I'm not gonna lie. They like, when I first heard of it, like, there was, like, the common ones.
Yes.
Well, which ones?
Well, first of all, we should probably explain what the Mandela effects are.
Oh yeah, I just everyone's mind has been blown before.
I mean, I do feel like they're pretty well known now, but just in case for any of our listeners that don't know what a Mandela effect is, a Mandela effect started with Nelson Mandela because there was a book written. I want to say it was published in the 80s, I want to say. But there was an actual book that was written that said that Nelson Mandela died when he was in prison. And so many people, this huge group population of people, believe that he died. But he didn't die until, like, late 2000s. Like, I think he died, like, a decade ago or something like that. I might be wrong on that. But it was somewhat recent. Like, he went on to do great things after, and everyone was like, wait, didn't he die? Like, these people have these vivid memories, and it's written in a book. Yeah. Of them remembering that he died. So that's when the Mandela effect started, because there seems to be so many things where there's a large group of people that remember things that happened a certain way, but then it turns out it never actually existed.
Or,
Yeah, so...
Oh, real.
Yes. So the bigger, like, some crazy conspiracy theorists think that there's, like, alternate timelines and universes, like, think Loki. You know, like, if you've ever watched the show
like,
Loki.
What you remember, it's a different,
it was in a different timeline, and they're getting overlapped. So that's what they think. I don't know about all of that. But I do think that there's a lot of weird things where there are companies that are straight up saying, like, no, it was never like that. And I strictly remember as a child seeing things a certain way. And they're telling me that it's false.
It's like, no, it's almost like
makes
it's like
me
gaslighting.
Enraged. They are gaslighting. That's exactly what it is.
It's so frustrating because when I like, look up a logo and it's completely different than what I remember, Hate
So
that.
the one that makes me one of the most enraged is Fruit of the Loom.
Oh, that's without like
The
cornucopia
cornucopia
thing.
So Fruit of the Loom was
what
a
is it?
very popular brand when we were kids, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like all your basic underwear, t-shirts, things like that. And they all had that dang Fruit of the Loom with the cornucopia with the fruit.
The fruit.
It had like grapes and apples, whatever. Fruit of the Loom says that the cornucopia was never in their logo.
Okay.
That makes me angry.
Insane, because
it
who
makes
the heck
me
is
angry.
just like, they're literally.
Who made that up?
That's what I'm saying. They're accusing us of just like
Creating a cornucopia.
I can tell you right now, I do not think of cornucopias.
I've never
ever.
thought of a cornucopia in my life.
I probably just learned what a cornucopia was like yesterday. So
that I know what a cornucopia is because of Fruit of the Loom.
That's what I'm saying. So there's literally. So there's no way
None
that we're just making this up.
Zip. Zada. There's
They're gaslighting us.
0% chance that they did not like
0%.
We went from 100% to 0% chance. Okay, like I get angry with this. No, but then there was this person that came on TikTok that had an old T-shirt with the Fruit of the Loom logo with the cornucopia.
No, that's what I'm saying. It had
but
to
the
be.
brand said that they never had it. So
No,
I'm like,
they're
okay,
lying.
these
They're
brands are either like playing into the Mandela effect marketing, where they like, if we say,
because
it's a beautiful marketing technique.
It is true. It gets the word out. Like people start talking about Fruit of the Loom. If some.
That's a whole other conspiracy theory that they're doing it on purpose, because then people talk about the brand. Who is talking about Fruit of the Loom? No one has a reason to talk about Fruit of the Loom except for the Mandela effect. They were on their way out. But until they started saying, actually, you guys, we never had the cornucopia, people are like, what? They're probably going to the store, buying the merchandise, going to look at that aisle just to see if they have the cornucopia.
That's genius.
It's genius. I actually am now putting this together.
It's evil.
It's 100%, 100% a marketing technique. Because you cannot tell me that they did not have it.
Yeah.
They did. They definitely did. And they're sitting here gaslighting all of us to make a buck. People literally have
proof.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no way.
Like, especially when some of these companies are saying that it was never like that. Like, I understand if you said that it changed. Okay, it changed.
Yeah, but
and you just never said anything, and they just made
rude. They're just
rude.
accusing you of being stupid.
But they're like, nope, we never had the cornucopia. I'm like, you liar. I'm
liar.
going to sue you for emotional distress, because I go to this keep me up at night.
Oh, I mean, I guess that's legal, right? Like, say they did have the cornucopia and they just say there isn't one now. Like that is that lying? Like, can companies do that?
I don't know. That's a whole other thing.
Like, cause
but is anybody gonna actually try to take that to court?
They lie. I would. This is angering.
You know how much money you'd have to spend to hopefully win this weird lawsuit against Fruit of the Loom?
Hey, but maybe that's what I'd be known for. Maybe that, Helen Keller had her whole legacy thing. Maybe my legacy is the girl that proves that there was a cornucopia in the Fruit of the Loom logo.
You think that's gonna live out as long as Helen Keller's legacy did?
I hope so. I want that right on my grave. If I do it.
That's
guys,
your way
I'm gonna put a
of avoiding
GoFundMe
oblivion.
in my Instagram bio so you guys can donate money so that we can get this answer solved.
I agree.
Yeah.
The other one that we have,
because
because we have a couple of like some big Mandela effects. The Pikachu one makes me angry.
I just heard about this.
I get enraged.
Right before this episode.
Furious.
And furious. No, that furious is the perfect word.
The Mandela effect is that Pikachu never had the tip of his tail black. Which is just a lie. Like, yes, he did. Yes, he did. They're saying that his whole tail is yellow. Just yellow. First of all, how boring. That's not Pikachu.
The design is horrible. Like, the black tail just makes sense. Like, the little black ends. And it has a little, you're imagining, like, the little zigzag thing.
Yeah.
Because it matches his vibe.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not even a big Pokemon person, and that one makes me angry. So I can't imagine for my Pokemon people out there.
I believe that. Or maybe they feel strongly like they knew it was yellow if they were Pokemon people. Maybe we're just like ignorant.
Like, why are there so many groups of people that believe this? It's not one person.
Exactly.
And I remember one of the first Mandela effects, and I was a kid. Well, I was maybe high school, and I didn't know what Mandela effects were at the time. And it's one of the other ones we have on the list is the Kit Kat. Because I remember I went to go buy a Kit Kat, and I was like, why isn't there a dash? And my friends were like, what? And I was like, it used to be Kit-Kat.
So you were a victim before you even knew what it was.
Yes. And I was like, why isn't there a dash? Did they change it? And I couldn't find it. So they're saying that there was never a
Kit
dash
Kat?
between Kit Kat, and I literally remember as a kid picking up the king size Kit Kat bars, and there would be a dash.
And there's a dash. Like, I can envision the cornucopia on the front of the balloon.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see it in here, in my cranium.
In the brain.
In my fully developed frontal lobe, I see
Kit Kat.
The Kit Kat dash.
Okay. No, that's real. You want to know another one? Okay, listeners, right now, close your eyes. Unless you're driving.
Okay. I'm closing my eyes. Yeah, please don't if you're driving. That's crazy.
Or do if you're at a stoplight, because this is important. I want you guys to picture the infamous Curious George. Okay, you're picturing him?
I am.
Does he have a tail?
Yes, he does.
Apparently he doesn't.
First of all, who designs a monkey
without a tail?
Without a tail, unless it's like an orangutan. But he's not an orangutan. Is he? Is he an orangutan? He doesn't look like an orangutan.
Girl, I have no idea.
Orangutans are big. He was a tiny little thing.
He had a tail.
I remember him having his little curly tail.
Yeah.
But it's not even not a tail. It's a nub. It's like a little nub. Like those dogs that have the little nub, like a Doberman pinscher.
Yeah, they get their tails like
cut off. So you're telling me he had a tail and you guys chopped it off. That's what it looks like to me.
Poor guy. No, that's funny. You know what's so funny though? Is considering like Curious George. I was having this conversation the other day. This has been like an ongoing question in my mind. This weekend, this isn't a conspiracy theory, but I just love like those like who would win in a fight questions. And I was thinking of Curious George, and I think this is before I even came up with this question. I thought I made up my own Mandela effect, and then I realized no one related to me, and then I like quickly retracted that. So this is really embarrassing. But I thought Curious George had boots, but I think it's because I was mixing him up with the boots monkey. Yeah.
Well, he had like a little raincoat outfit. Like he had a little.
I envisioned him with yellow boots.
Because he had like a yellow raincoat.
But maybe it was just my mind. Like this one, I'll give like me a break for, but I think give me a break for obviously because I feel like I deserve it. But the yellow hat guy, it was just a yellow vibe.
That makes sense.
But yeah, the question was, who do you think would win in a fight, Hannah? Just real quick, Curious George or Boots?
Boots was for the streets. Boots was in the jungle.
Spanish?
He was Spanish.
In the jungle.
Going out and hiking on adventures. He had to deal with Swiper.
Yeah.
Boots would 100% win.
I looked it up. Boots actually does have a tail. So he's got that extra appendage.
Real.
Okay. I wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
Yeah, Curious George one is annoying. And then we have, the magic mirror / mirror on the wall. This one makes me angry too. And this one has also been proven of why we all believe that it's been mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all. And Disney was like, no, it was actually magic mirror on the wall. Yeah, who's the fairest of them all? And I'm like, first of all, there was a TV show created called Mirror. And people found old dolls of the evil queen. And it has like the little pre-recordings in it. And she was literally going, mirror on the wall. So I'm like, why would you create merchandise saying something different than what the movie did? Because if you go back and watch the Snow White movie, she says magic mirror. But there was there's merchandise, there's t-shirts, there's pre-recorded like action figures and dolls that all say mirror. Why did that even happen in the first place? This is where I get why people are like crossing timelines and stuff, because why would you ever create merchandise? Why would people create a TV show over something that was never actually in the movie?
Yeah,
unless Disney literally went back and changed it for what?
For what?
Like, why would you change mirror to magic mirror?
Why would we just make up mirror?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, because magic mirror is crazy.
If I never heard it,
why would I randomly
say it? And all growing up, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Like, we're not going to act like we all didn't say that to our normal mirrors in our house as kids, because I definitely did.
Of course. Especially those, like, little handheld mirrors. Mm-hmm. That was, like, the perfect opportunity.
Yep. So I'm like, they're gaslighting us all.
Magic mirror.
And wouldn't this bring also the one from Star Wars, where it's not, Luke, I am your father, where it's, no, I am your father. Like but again, people have literally found merchandise, little action figure dolls that say, Luke, I am your father.
Yeah, I wonder.
Where did we get it from then?
Yeah, I wonder if there's just like, I don't know. Because I get the Luke one, like maybe like you just forget. Because that one like can be easily like switchable, you know, like Luke, I am your father, and no, I am your father.
But maybe so could magic and mirror.
Yeah, so maybe one person just forgot it, and that's why I said mirror twice, and then it just caught like wildfire. But I can't imagine anyone having that great of influence.
Disney merchandise that was made.
See, that gets me. I don't know.
I just don't understand.
the world wants to make us feel like we're crazy.
And it's
I think that's the truth behind this all.
I would agree.
All these Mandela effects.
So the other, transitioning away from Mandela effects, there's so many Mandela effects.
Yeah,
like
we
that,
could literally
a whole episode just about Mandela effects. The other I get passionate about this one, so I apologize in advance. But the conspiracy theories about mattress stores, specifically Mattress Firm. You can ask any of my friends. I went on a rampage about this because I watched a conspiracy theory video that talked about it, and it has never left my mind since. Mm-hmm. They are money laundering fronts. I don't even say that as a conspiracy theory. No, actually, we're speculating so we don't get sued. Wink, wink. We're wink. But we're speculating. This is a theory, not a fact. But you have to say that to save us, because this podcast is just too popular. We're gonna get sued left and right.
Don't worry, I'll be familiar with court when I go to court, so it'll be fine.
Oh, right. To sue
fruit of the loom.
Right. Fruit of the loom for emotional distress. So there's no way. First of all, when was the last time you ever even thought of a mattress store? And here's the biggest part that gets me about this. There's two major keys as to why I believe that mattress firms, any mattress store really, but especially Mattress Firm is at the top for me of why I believe they're money laundering fronts, is because of how many there are. I swear.
No one's buying that many mattresses.
That's what I'm saying. I swear, dude. It's almost every other block. You will find some type of mattress store. Number 2, there's never any cars in the parking lot if it's a standalone. And if you ever look in while you're driving by, you never see anyone in there. Not even an employee. Every time I drive by a Mattress Firm, I make it a point to look in. I don't even see an employee. Which, granted, I'm sure there's at least one person there because it is an open storefront, probably in the back. But there's never a customer. Yeah. I never see an employee working.
Like, there's no way mattresses are financing all of those stores.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, how, first of all, especially like think of where we're living in like St. Petersburg, Florida, a very up and coming, very expensive, quite frankly, area to live in. How are you paying the rent? No, maybe like 20, 30 years ago for sure. But like especially before online shopping was a thing. Yeah. But now, how are you paying the rent for all of these storefronts, every other block, based off of mattresses, which most people would buy online nowadays?
Yeah,
and they're not even like
family's mattresses are from online.
Yes. I did have one experience in college where I went to an actual Mattress Firm, and I bought, and there was like one guy there. It was the weirdest experience of my life. And I'm like...
He's like, wait, you actually want to buy a mattress? That's crazy.
There's no way that they are making that much money to own that many storefronts based off of mattress sales when there's online shopping now. Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Math is not mathing.
And what is the common place of when you have a lot of cash? Where do people hide it? Under the mattress.
Oh, that was really good.
Mine.
That is true, because I was just about to say, why mattresses?
Why mattresses?
There you go.
It's the perfect front.
Mattress Firm.
Mattress fraud.
Oh, I was like, we're like mattress fraud.
There's just no way. Like, I don't know of any kind of evidence that someone could bring to me to make me believe otherwise.
Yeah.
Especially, again, not just Mattress Firm. Is any of
that information public, like how much money they make?
I don't know.
Because, like, I kind of want to, like...
There's also, like, Mattress Ones. Look. But again, it's like every other block, there's some type of mattress store. And I'm like, so not only do you have serious competition and you're paying all that rent, and also, like, how often are people buying mattresses? They last a long time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something
that's not the business I'm trying to get into. I'm not trying to sell mattresses for a living.
Like, it's not something that, like, people have to buy very frequently. Mm-hmm. If you buy a mattress and you have a mattress protector, like a cover, and then you're putting, like, your sheets on top of it, mattresses last years.
Real.
Like, what? Like, I think, like, some people can have a mattress if you have a nice quality one for up to, like, a decade. Yeah. Before you need to get a new one.
When I need to replace it, Googling.
I'm going to order one online.
Yeah.
And there's so many other brands and types of mattresses now that are only sold online that are so much higher quality than some of the ones besides maybe like a Tempur-Pedic or a Sleep Number that you could buy like at a mattress store. But it's like, I just don't. And here's my thing too. I feel like even if, let's say people do go to a mattress store, I believe that they'd probably go to the mattress store just to test the mattress out, and then they probably go home and buy it online.
That's so true. Because, like, who wants to carry them? Like, how do you even transport that? Do they roll it up like they do the online ones?
It depends on the type of mattress. There are some mattresses. There are some mattresses where they come like vacuum sealed, like in a box, and you open the box and like they're
those are like
out and ready to go.
Yeah,
they can buy online. But like when I bought my mattress, like you got the big box, but Vlad has a truck, so it works out that way. You would need someone with a truck to be able to transport it.
Yeah, but that's not common.
That's not. Yeah, you have. Yeah.
My little Hyundai Elantra, I'm not gonna strap a mattress to the top.
That'd be crazy.
Like, there's no way. Again, that just already limits the customer. You know, possible customers.
Like, I'm just gonna have you.
Like 2%.
If I don't have a car,
to go to an actual mattress store.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and like pay for it to be delivered. Like, why am I here in person? I just do this from home. Like, I might go into like bounce around on the mattress and like see what it feels like, and then I'm gonna go home and order it online.
I have always wanted to. You know what they should do instead? Screw selling mattresses. They should sell mattress experiences. Because in the Elf movie, when they're at the mall and they jump from mattress to mattress, I've always wanted to do that.
Also, I hate interacting with salesmen. So that's another
mean for no reason.
They're mean.
They're so aggressive.
They're also very pushy and aggressive.
I'm horrible with those people. I say yes to everything.
I do too.
I'm like,
I am the reason why they have jobs.
Same. Like, all of their tactics work on me. Yes. Every single one.
Well, because for me, I'm not confrontational and I'm not rude. So when they start, like, if I say, oh, well, I want this, they start to make you feel stupid for wanting that.
Like, oh,
and they're like, well, if you just pay $50 a day more, you can have it. It's so expensive, but the way that they word it, you're like, oh, that's only actually not $50 a day. And then like they're like, why wouldn't you just do this? And they basically like tell you you're wrong for what you want, and they push what they want you to buy on. And I'm just gonna say yes because I'm a chump. That's why I need to do it online.
Yeah. Like,
so I can have a nice experience with no mean salespeople.
Yeah, salespeople are so scary.
They are. I don't like it.
I don't understand, like, major respect and props to the people that like can actually negotiate and stuff.
Oh yeah. They don't
especially
care.
Like car salesmen. Like, oh,
that's a big one.
This
like that New Girl episode.
No, exactly. No, but this used car from 2001 is $100,000. Makes sense to me. You know better. Take my money.
I just think of Jess. That episode is so funny. I want to see real camaraderie. When a cute waitress walks by, I want to see hubba hubba. She's like, I want Bluetooth. I want a sunroof. Oh, whatever you want.
So good.
So good. So that Mandela effect, that conspiracy theory really boils my blood.
Grinds my gears.
Really peels my grapes.
I don't have any more. I don't have any more either. I don't even know if that last one is really one, but I'm gonna start using it.
But you know what, you guys? Let us know what your favorite conspiracy theories are. Do you agree with any of the conspiracy theory, like with the mattress firm conspiracy theory? And have you been personally affected by these Mandela effects?
Reach out, all right? Because I'm going to court.
We need a support group
for all of the victims
of this gaslighting Mandela effects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it needs to stop.
I would agree.
Too many people are feeling crazy. Too many minds are being blown.
And please let us know what conspiracy theories you want us to talk about for future episodes.
Yeah, because there's so many. Like, we literally talked about, what, 2?
Yeah, literally. Like, and it took, like, forever. So,
yeah, no.
We're going to definitely have...
It's so fun. And especially if you guys are having, like, any future parties. That's fun. Literally look up conspiracy theories. I do that all the time. Like, if it's, like, boring, just be like...
What a good conversation starter.
Exactly. A little icebreaker.
Also, just like, to figure out, because there's some people that they don't like conspiracy theories, and you're like, oh, those are not my people. You find out real quick.
Exactly. It's one of those things. Like,
some people get offended.
And then, again, if you bring up a conspiracy theory, and then they have crazy ideas, like, oh, mattress stores aren't money laundering, you're like, all right, well, I know that person. Not my cup of tea. Mm-hmm. Because they're a victim, and they don't even know it.
They're a sheep.
They're a sheep. They're a chump. They're, whatever nicer word that describes those people.
I don't know.
I don't know what you said.
I said, is there a nicer word to say you're naive?
You might not know what you're talking about.
You are always chasing wisdom, but wisdom runs faster than you.
That's was insane, Hannah. There's no way you just came up with that right now. I was trying to say, there's no freaking way. You're just like, actually, Mia, the wisdom that they are chasing is just running faster. No way. That was good, though.
Thank you.
I'm going to put that in my next song.
You write songs?
Maybe I'll start after that one.
You said next. What's your previous song?
I did write songs when I was younger.
I wrote a song when I was younger,
I feel like it was a classic. I remember finding it the other day, too, and it was like a paper. It had like the most like, it was disgusting. It had like Dorito dust, like cheese dust from you like holding it and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was called like I'm the Only Me, which kind of relates a lot to my personality now, like the desire to be so unique.
You're definitely
an
a
individual.
closeted type 4. I will die on that bridge that you're a
like,
type
even
4.
when I was like 5, I was like, I'm the only me. All right. Everyone
I wrote
know.
a song about God being my protector.
Wow.
You want to know the worst part? Oh my gosh, no!
Wow.
I might save that for our next episode. I'm gonna save this
That's
for
all
our
kind
next
of relates
episode. It does.
To our
Just
next episode.
wait till
Episode
episode 6, you guys. You're
have
in
to wait
for
a
a
week.
real
Hopefully
treat.
we can handle it.
The suspense.
No, honestly, when Mondays end and I finish the episode,
I'm so sad.
you have to wait a whole
week for your next ATC. How tragic.
First word,
Guys, that's why you go replay and start from number 1.
Yeah, Hannah's slacking. She's only listened to episode 4 once.
I've only listened to episode 4 one time. I'm behind. I've
After
normally
school
listened to it 2 or 3 times by now.
She's slacking.
I am slacking.
That's okay. Because we still get the ATC fun because we're recording today too. It's not
true.
like we're completely neglecting our baby. Not completely.
A little newborn.
A little newborn. She's like,
What episode do you think she becomes like a toddler? Like episode 20?
oh yeah, is each episode like a year?
No, that's crazy.
Is each
That's
episode
crazy growth.
like
Maybe like a month? 2 months. 2 months.
2 months? Okay.
So we're 10 months old. So next episode
like
will be
24?
a year.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll be a year old.
Oh, that's so cute.
So cute.
I love that for our ATC.
All right, you guys. I hope you have the best day ever.
Good luck waiting.
Good luck waiting.
Savor our voices now. Because you won't hear any new content until next
7
week.
days. Bum, bum, bum.
All right, guys.
Bye, you guys.
Peace out.
Signing off.